My name is Smith, and I'm 84 years old. You see, 4 months ago, I got the call, stage 3 prostate cancer. The doctor's office was dim, quiet. I remember staring at this painting on the wall about the human body, while she explained treatment options, survival rates, all of it. And you know what went through my mind? It was something completely different. Not fear, not anger, just this strange thought. So this is how my story ends. But here's what nobody tells you about getting news like that. The first week, you're numb. You tell your family. You make appointments. You research treatments. You're in survival mode. Honestly, it's the second week when it hits you. Really hits you. I woke up one morning, looked at my wife sleeping next to me, and I started crying. Not because I was scared of dying. I was crying because I suddenly saw my entire life laid out in front of me like a map, and I could see all the places I took wrong turns. I spent 41 years as an engineer. 41 years. I was good at it, made decent money, provided for my family, retired with a pension. But here's the truth I never admitted until cancer forced me to look at it. I hated it. Not every day, but most days. I hated the long meetings, the endless technical reports, the performance reviews, the office politics. I stayed because it was safe, because it paid the bills, because that's what responsible adults usually do. When I was 24, I wanted to be a sculptor. I loved working with my hands, shaping things. My uncle taught me when I was a kid. We carved a small wooden eagle together when I was 13, and I still have it on my mantle. But sculpting doesn't pay well. It's not stable. So I went into engineering because my father said it was practical. And you know what? He was right. It was practical. It just wasn't mine. Bills have to get paid. Kids need shoes. I get it. But what I am saying is this. There's a difference between making a living and making a life. And most of us, we get so caught up in the making a living part that we forget about the other half entirely. After my diagnosis, something shifted. My oncologist laid out this aggressive treatment plan, chemotherapy, possible surgery, the whole deal. And I agreed to it, obviously. But I also went down to my basement, cleared out 30 years of accumulated junk, and set up a proper studio, bought some good tools, started sculpting again for the first time in decades. My wife thought I'd lost my mind. Smith, she said, shouldn't you be resting, conserving your strength? And maybe she had a point. The chemo makes me tired. Some days I can barely get out of bed. But on the days I can work, even just for an hour or two, I feel more alive than I have in years. Last month, I finished a small carved wooden duck for my grandson. Oak with pine details. It's not perfect. My hands shake more than they used to, but it's real. It's something I made. Here's what cancer teaches you that nothing else can. You don't have unlimited time to become the person you want to be. You think you do. When you're young, 40 years seems infinite. Even at 55, at 65, you tell yourself, there's still time. There's always tomorrow. But sometimes tomorrow doesn't come. Or it comes with expiration dates stamped on it. I've been thinking a lot about regret lately. Not the big dramatic regrets like cheating on my wife or committing some crime. I never did anything like that. It's the quiet regrets that haunt you. The birthday dinners I missed because I was traveling for work. The times my kids asked me to go fishing and I said maybe later because I had deadlines. The anniversary trips my wife wanted to take that I postponed because we should save money. All those little moments where I chose the safe, practical, responsible option over the living option. My daughter came to visit last month. She's 52 now, works in healthcare. We were sitting in my studio and I was showing her how to shape clay properly. And she said something that broke my heart. She said, "Dad, I didn't know you could do this. I wish you'd shown me when I was growing them up." And the thing is, I wish I had too. But I was too busy working late, too busy being responsible, too busy preparing for a future that I thought would last forever. Here's the thing. Nobody wants to admit we're all terminal. Every single one of us. Some of us just have a clearer timeline than others. That sounds morbid, but it's not. It's actually liberating once you accept it. It means every choice you make today matters. Not someday, today. You know what the strangest part about having cancer is? People start treating you differently. They get this careful tone, this pity in their eyes. They say things like, "Stay strong and you've got this." And I appreciate it, but sometimes I want to tell them, you should be asking yourself these questions too, not waiting for a diagnosis to force you to. I'm not cured. The doctors are cautiously optimistic, but it's still touch and go. I might have 5 years. I might have 10. I might have 6 months. Nobody knows. But here's what's changed. I don't waste time on things that don't matter anymore. I don't argue about politics with my brother-in-law. I don't stress about the stock market. I don't care if the neighbor's car is newer than mine. Instead, I work in my studio. I have long conversations with my wife where we actually listen to each other. I call my kids not to give advice, but just to hear their voices. I teach my grandson how to shape and smooth clay, how to feel the material, how to be patient. These are small things. They won't change the world, but they're changing my world. And that's all I've got. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, "Well, that's nice, Sir Smith. I can't just quit my job and become a sculptor," you're missing the point. I'm telling you to look at your life. Really look at it and ask yourself, am I living or am I just existing? There's this moment in chemotherapy about 2 hours in where the drugs really start hitting your system. Your mouth gets this metallic taste. Your body feels heavy. And in those moments, I don't think about my career or my retirement account. I think about my wife's smile. I think about the smell of fresh clay. I think about my son falling asleep on my shoulder during a long drive. These are the things that matter. Everything else is just noise. You might be thinking, Smith is being dramatic because he's sick. Maybe you're right, but I don't think so. I think I'm finally being honest in a way I never let myself be before. For 84 years, I played by the rules. I did what was expected. I was a good employee, a good husband, a good father, but I wasn't always good to myself. I didn't honor the things that made me who I really am. My uncle told me something when I was young that I didn't understand until now. He said, "Smith, at the end of your life, nobody's going to remember how many reports you filed." I thought he was just being sentimental, maybe a little bitter, but he was trying to tell me something important. He was trying to tell me to live. If there's anything I want you to take from this, it's this. Don't wait for cancer or a heart attack or some other crisis to give yourself permission to live the life you actually want. You don't need permission. You already have it. The question is whether you'll use it. I started chemotherapy on a Monday. On that Thursday, despite feeling terrible, I went down to my studio and started a new project, a set of hand-carved chess pieces for my daughter. Will I finish it? I don't know, but I'm going to try because trying is what matters. Showing up for the things that make you feel human is what matters. Some of you watching this are in jobs you hate. I know it can feel soul-crushing and hopeless, but you have the power to change that. Some of you are in relationships that don't fulfill you anymore. Some of you have dreams you put in a drawer 30 years ago and told yourself someday, and that someday keeps getting pushed further and further away. Stop pushing it. Start today. Not tomorrow, not next year, today. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that following your dreams will solve all your problems, or that everything will work out if you just believe hard enough. Life doesn't work like that. But what I will tell you is that live with intention, even when it's hard, even when it's scary, beats sleepwalking through existence every single time. My prognosis isn't great, but it's not hopeless either. Maybe I'll beat this thing, maybe I won't. Either way, I'm spending whatever time I have left doing things that matter to me. With people I love, creating things with my hands. That's more than a lot of people can say. Even people who are perfectly healthy. And by the way, if you're interested in this topic, I'd recommend 3 books that really opened my eyes. When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware, and Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Read them. They'll change how you think about time and purpose. I'll put the links in the comments and the description. On this channel, myself and others share life advice and memories from our experiences. If you found this valuable, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And if you resonated with any of this, leave a comment. Tell me what you're going to start doing differently. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because I got more to say while I still can. If you've got your own story to share, something you think people should hear, go ahead and fill out that form in the description. The next video could be yours.